Welcome to the Business Facilities Podcast, where we're focused on discussing strategies to help business owners, corporate site selectors, and site selection consultants make the best location decisions for companies across a range of industries. I'm your host today, Ann Cosgrove of Business Facilities Editorial Director, and my guest today is Jason El Koubi. He is President and CEO of the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, and there he leads the partnership to stimulate and support the development and expansion of the economy across the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're excited to talk about some of the innovative things that are happening in Virginia and have been happening, and how the VEDP, as well as many of the resources across the state, are helping to support existing, new businesses, and the state as a whole. So I'm pleased to have the opportunity to talk with Jason today to catch up on that as 2025 comes to a close, believe it or not, almost. So welcome, Jason. Thanks for joining me today.
And it's great to be with you. And it's hard to believe that 2025 is getting into the home stretch. It's been a big year. I've hardly had time to take stock of everything that's going on, and this is a great way to do it. It's so good to connect with you.
Great. Well, thank you. So I'm going to start off with asking you, what is an example of an innovative company that's put down roots in Virginia in recent years? I kind of want to start on the small scale, and then we'll kind of zoom out from there in our conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I think about what's happening in Virginia, and just the momentum and activity over the last few years, innovation is a huge theme as we think about it. And I actually think about at least 3 or 4 kind of major elements of that, and they all have kind of their examples. But one of the ones that has really captured a lot of attention in corporate America and the economic development community over the last year has been Virginia's surge in advanced pharmaceutical manufacturing. This is something that we very intentionally planned over many years. We knew that we had a lot of the ingredients for a very strong ecosystem. Virginia is one of the few states that won one of the major investments from the Build Back Better Regional Challenge. There was a $50 million grant that was given to the Richmond Petersburg area based on its potential, and we had seen some nice announcements in there from companies like Civica and Flow and Ampac, and there was this nice cluster emerging. Merck already had a major presence in Virginia, but we knew that there was an opportunity to scale and to really deepen that as a next generation of pharmaceuticals began to come on the market. And we've seen that just in the last couple of months with 2 very major announcements, 2 of the most innovative pharmaceutical companies in the world. First, we saw Eli Lilly. Lilly announced a major project, $5 billion, 650 jobs in Goochland County. That's just here in the Richmond area, part of that ecosystem. And what they're going to really focus on is something called antibody drug conjugates, which is a whole line of drugs that target disease in a very targeted way. I mean, you think about traditional chemotherapies being very indiscriminate in terms of where they focus the medicine or don't focus the medicine. With antibody drug conjugates or ADCs, you have this technology, this breakthrough that really targets the cells that carry the disease, if you will, so that the rest of the body is healthier as treatment happens. So that's what Lilly is going to focus on with this major new facility in Goochland County, and at the same time, we were talking with AstraZeneca, the largest publicly traded company in the United Kingdom, another heavyweight in the global pharmaceutical ecosystem. AstraZeneca is doing a brand new facility, their largest facility ever in the world, in Albemarle County. That's right outside of Charlottesville. Another terrific location. They've chosen a site there that we had invested in through VDP, and what AstraZeneca is going to do, or at least the anchor of it, because they're already talking about doing more, but the anchor of the AstraZeneca investment will be GLP-1s, the weight loss drugs that are that have a huge market, a huge and growing market, and they're looking at doing those in a very innovative way in the Charlottesville area. And they're already looking at doing more, not just in the GLP-1 line, but looking at doing other kinds of therapies there. So we're already talking to them about an expansion, which is very, very exciting. And I would just say, beyond that, we're also seeing how these projects are really leveraging the work that we have done to prepare for success in some of the most innovative sectors in our economy, things that are really shaping the future, building the future here in Virginia. And that includes hundreds of millions of dollars that Virginia has invested in the higher education pipeline, in the research and development enterprise, hundreds of millions of dollars in institutes like the Manning Institute at the University of Virginia, which just recruited a superstar researcher and executive who had a career in the industry, Mark Esser, who's now there building out the vision that Paul and Diane Manning had in Charlottesville. We've got a terrific research facility in the Richmond area called Medicines for All that was really a big part of the anchor for that grant that I described earlier. So this advanced pharmaceutical manufacturing ecosystem is really, really on fire here in Virginia, and we see a strong pipeline. I mean, you're seeing it in the news. You're seeing what the White House is doing to reshore pharmaceuticals. And so much of that activity is coming to Virginia. So those are some big examples. But I mean, look, I mean, you know the Virginia story. You know how Virginia has been a leader in the infrastructure that is powering AI. We are the world's capital for data centers by a factor of 4. We are so much bigger than the next market, and as a result, so many of the AI jobs are in Virginia. You look at the different rankings that are out there, and AI is a major part of Virginia's story. And because AI requires so much energy innovation is another major theme in Virginia. And of course, there's just all of the sort of headquarters and business services that go with that are part of the advanced knowledge work economy as well. So those are some of the major innovation themes, and it's hard to just kind of summarize, but there's really a lot going on.
Well, thank you for that. And you touched on advanced pharmaceuticals and the data centers, and cybersecurity goes with that as well. And we know Virginia's a hotbed for that talent. Talent is where I wanted to go with this. You mentioned ecosystem and research and higher education. Can we talk about talent a little bit, and whether you would like to focus on one of those industries or kind of across the board, talking about innovation? Tech kind of underpins almost virtually all industries these days, more and more.
Yeah.
So I want to let you talk a little bit about talent. We know we have the Virginia Talent Accelerator Program, which Business Facilities has recognized for a number of years now. But I just wanted to get a sense of what's the latest and greatest, or maybe what you've seen that's really been able to capture the attention of your new and existing companies in terms of talent. What are they looking for, and what are you all working to shore up to make sure they have what they need?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've made talent the heart of our economic development strategy. I will say that, when you think about the site selection process, talent has always been a major factor. Over the last few years, we've really seen the importance of just having a project-ready site, having power at the site. So those are essentials, particularly for manufacturing and other industrial projects. But at the end of the day, every major business location and expansion decision is going to rely on access to talent as a critical element of that. And so, as I mentioned, we've made talent the heart of our economic development strategy here in Virginia. Virginia has always been a leader in talent. We are arguably already America's top state for talent, but we are really trying to sort of solidify that position and sort of brand Virginia as America's top state for talent, frankly. And there's a number of different elements to that, but you talked about the Virginia Talent Accelerator Program, which is now widely recognized as the leading solution for companies that are doing a major location or expansion project that just need to recruit and train a lot of people quickly. And we do that better than anybody else. We do it in a way that is designed hand in glove with the company in a very customized way, down to the position level in their to their specific culture, to their specific equipment, their specific processes, everything that the company is trying to do. We work hand in glove with them to deliver that, and that's been very successful. It's now serving many dozens of different economic development projects across Virginia, helping to create tens of thousands of new direct jobs. That's been a huge success. But the other kind of broader thing that we're doing is thinking about the entire sort of talent, environment. Making sure that Virginia has enough people, first of all, but also making sure that those people are aligned with the needs of the economy. And so, a major focus of Virginia's has been to make sure that we are a leading state in terms of aligning our workforce development programs, our higher education programs, with what the economy needs today and what it's going to need in the future. And then finally, we are also leading in making sure that we are unlocking the barriers that keep people out of the right job, the job that the economy needs them in the most. And we do that in a variety of ways. I mean, part of it is like when we do a major economic development project, we're now working with our housing partners to invest in new housing development in proximity of that project. So as the facility gets built, we're also building the houses where the workers are going to live. We are also doing that by through leadership in internships. We know that even if we get the alignment right in terms of our university and community college programs, if we don't have the right connective tissue with Virginia's companies that offer good jobs in those fields, then it's not going to be as efficient as it could be. And so we are now doing a lot of work here at VDP to strengthen the internship story in Virginia, making sure that Virginia higher education students have the opportunity to do an internship or other work-based learning. But it also comes down to some of the sort of kitchen table issues, if you will, including childcare. And so that's another place where Virginia has invested, putting more than $1 billion in its last budget into supporting childcare and early childhood education. And what that means is that working parents are able to to sort of balance the needs of work and family in a much better way, knowing that their kids are secure and that they're going to get good care and good education.
Well, thank you for that. And I want to kind of follow on what you just mentioned about the VEDP and your partners, of course, looking at to align talent with available jobs or jobs that are coming down the pike or that you may want to be able to attract. So I guess my question there is, with talent in mind and other aspects as well, what other emerging sectors or technologies, I guess, are you looking at in terms of that alignment? Or what do you see coming down the pike in terms of Virginia being especially well positioned to support? We talked about advanced pharma and we talked about data centers, but I know there's more to that, more than that to Virginia's economy. So I wanted to give you a chance to maybe talk about some of those jobs you are seeing that you're helping companies be able to fill. Just kind of want to give you a chance to talk about a few other industries and give a window into that.
Yeah, and it's a really good question, and I think about it sort of in two different ways. I think first of all, we've got to stay focused on the sectors that are going to create the largest number of high quality jobs today in the foreseeable future. But then we also need to be focused on cultivating those innovative sectors that are likely going to be the big growth drivers in the future. So we take sort of a holistic strategic approach, putting most of our energy against the big opportunities that are right in front of us, but also making sure that we are strategically investing in the future in some of the sectors that are likely to emerge. And so I'll talk about it in those two categories. So, first, in the stuff where we see a lot of job creating opportunities before. First of all, we've talked about some of it already. I mean, certainly there are segments of advanced manufacturing, including biopharmaceutical manufacturing. We talked a lot about that, but also Virginia really specializes in a wide range of advanced materials, just things that go into the stuff that we use. And Virginia's manufacturing capabilities for advanced materials are incredibly diverse and deep. And then also we have a thriving food and beverage sector in Virginia. Virginia has a large agricultural industry, and we're really seeing kind of the fusion between manufacturing and agriculture with a lot of food and beverage manufacturing here in Virginia. I was just at some facilities in the Shenandoah Valley, which is sort of the traditional breadbasket of Virginia, and saw that firsthand. But we're also seeing in sort of the knowledge workspace, if you will, a real shift that is creating a lot of investment in aerospace and defense. You look at some of the way that war is being conducted today, and it's it is highly automated. It is highly autonomous. That is creating a surge in new investments that the federal government is making, and Virginia is capturing a lot of that. But we're also seeing the innovation in the commercial sector in terms of business services and financial services. We've got Capital One headquartered in Virginia. We've got CoStar headquartered in Virginia. We've got Amazon HQ2 headquartered in Virginia. We've got Hilton headquartered in Virginia. And all of those sectors, you think about like hotels and retail and banking, they are all going through a big wave of innovation right now. And because the headquarters are here, we're seeing so much of that innovation happening in Virginia. That's creating a lot of jobs. And then also, I should mention logistics. That's another part of our opportunity, in part because Virginia is right in the middle of the East Coast. If you want a single node in it to get to all of America, Virginia is a great place to do that. You can get to 2/3 of the U.S. population within a day or so. We're right in the middle of the East Coast. We've got the most modern, efficient port complex on the East Coast with the Port of Virginia, which has been the focus of billions of dollars in investment to make the channels deeper and wider and safer. You can get a ship out at the same time you're getting a ship into the port. And we're now looking at how do we leverage the great airport capabilities we have to make them cargo gateways as well. I'm thinking in particular about Dulles, which is the international airport that serves the nation's capital. It is in Virginia, and it is connected to so many destinations around the world. And so we're looking at making that an air cargo gateway. So those are some of the major job creation opportunities, some of the major themes that are driving so much of the progress in Virginia right now. But then you've also got these other segments that are really exciting that we're starting to see projects in them, and you could see these materializing into major engines of growth in the future. And I'm talking about things like quantum computing, where Virginia already has an early lead, commercial space, which is another place that Virginia has a strong lead in. We're one of the few states in the country where you can launch a rocket into space vertically. We have the spaceport on Virginia's eastern shore, and we're seeing multiple companies invest and launch rockets from there. So those are some of the things that we expect to become potential major sources of job creation in the future. They are creating jobs today for sure, and we're capturing a lot of that. But we're really thinking ahead, even as we drive deeper into the sectors that are that are most dynamic and that have the most growth potential in the next few years.
What does make Virginia's business climate competitive for companies that are making these innovation-focused investments, and what are of course, every project is different and across industries, but I wanted to get a sense for, what you're hearing from these companies, what you and your colleagues are hearing in terms of what they need, whether they are coming to Virginia or expanding, considering an expansion. What about the business climate is really, we talked about talent, of course, but beyond that, what are some of the points you'd like to drive home that these folks should be looking at?
Virginia does a whole lot of different things well from an industrial standpoint. And so, if whatever business services you need, customers, suppliers, infrastructure, that sort of, when you think about, a successful business, particularly a business that is growing, a business that's trying to reach new markets, it needs a lot of help from other businesses. And Virginia has a very dense ecosystem to support a wide variety of businesses in a lot of different industry sectors. So, and that's why, including all of the innovation that we talked about earlier, but also it is a great place to be personally. I moved here nearly 10 years ago with my young family, and we have just fallen in love with this beautiful state. But also it is a terrific business environment. When you look at the different factors, we're typically ranked #1 in education. Business Facilities, of course, has recognized us as #1 for training programs, including the Virginia Talent Accelerator. We're always high on the list for infrastructure. We get high marks for technology and innovation and quality of life, business friendliness. But I will also say it gets down to some of the ethos of Virginia as well. Virginia is a state that is it's very well governed. There's been a major review over the last few years to look at how do we roll back any unnecessary regulations? How do we make sure that we're staying competitive from a tax standpoint for the different sectors that we're trying to attract? So it's a state that is really focused on being a good home to businesses, to being a place where businesses can thrive, where they have a real partner. And it's not just VDP. Every part of Virginia's government at the state level, and we do this in partnership with our local governments and the economic developers in each locality in Virginia. There's this attitude that and a recognition that we really just need to kind of work together to solve businesses' needs and to do it at speed. We talked a lot about Virginia's talent advantages already, but I would put that in a whole kind of its own kind of category, just because the talent story in Virginia is so incredibly strong. You have some of the best public schools in America. You've got top colleges and universities. You've got one of the most well-educated workforces in the entire country. Within VDP, you have the architecture for really strengthening the alignment, like we talked about earlier. And then you also have these terrific solutions for companies that are in the situation where they have to hire and train hundreds of people quickly. And even if all the other stuff is good, if you don't have great solutions like the Virginia Talent Accelerator program for companies in that situation, they're going to struggle. And so we've got a terrific solution in Virginia for that. So our talent advantage is an incredibly important part of what makes Virginia such a great place for business, frankly. I would also, in its own category, just because it's so strong and well developed, talk about infrastructure and logistics. We've been investing hundreds of millions of dollars in project-ready sites. We've been investing billions in the Port of Virginia, as I mentioned earlier. We're now focused on the cargo story, particularly around Dulles, and really tying together this logistics ecosystem. But beyond that, Virginia has long been recognized as a top state for infrastructure, just based on the quality of its roads, the quality of its bridges, the sophisticated approaches that are taken to managing traffic and so forth. And for people listening who are kind of stuck in traffic again, wondering why in the world it has to be that way, that is something that Virginia has really managed quite well. We have challenges like every place does, but the quality of our infrastructure and the functionality of our infrastructure, particularly for major business development projects, is very, very strong. And then I would say, the final thing that makes Virginia just a terrific business environment is, you can have these strengths in these different areas, whether it's talent or infrastructure or uh, technology and innovation. But if you don't have strong partnerships to bring these different threads together and to package them up and to do that at the speed that businesses are moving in, particularly today. I mean, one of the things I've been so impressed by, Ann, is just in my economic development career, how much faster business decisions get made today than they did when I started my career. So, when AstraZeneca announced that it was going to bring its largest ever manufacturing investment to Virginia, they said a big part of the reason, this is from the CEO, they said, a big part of it is that they move at Virginia speed, and that is something that was a major differentiator. And it's not just me or the governor or the General Assembly. It's really everybody. I mean, it is a team of people who recognize that we need strengths on all of the things that matter to businesses, but we need to be able to package that up and to present it and adapt it and iterate on it as a business development deal comes together in a way that works for business. And I would say, one of the things that has just made this work so enriching, and for me in Virginia, is being able to do it in partnership with many hundreds of other people who, kind of share this commitment to economic development excellence, who really want to deliver and who recognize that if we do that, we are going to enrich the lives of Virginians. We're going to enrich our communities, and we're going to enrich this great Commonwealth, and keep this going in the future. But and I started my career as an engineer. I went to college and I studied biological engineering, and started my career as an environmental engineer. And I have, throughout my life, followed, the news of what's happening in science and technology and innovation. And we are in a moment right now where so much possibility is on the horizon in terms of what technology and innovation is delivering. And I read about this progress, and then I look at what's happening in Virginia, and I realize that so much of this is here in Virginia. And so when I think about just what's exciting to me, it's like I feel like we're building the future in Virginia. Innovation is here, and companies and people are discovering that and making decisions to be part of that incredible story of progress. And I get to be a part of that with the great team of VDP and our many partners at every level around Virginia. And it is a very, very special thing.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, thank you, Jason, for joining me today. I really appreciate you sharing that insight into the latest in Virginia, and looking forward to the future. And thanks for your time again. Appreciate it.
And thank you. Thanks for helping us tell the story. You and the team at Business Facilities have been terrific partners in this journey, and we're so excited about it. But it's important that we share it with the rest of the world. You guys help us do that. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Listeners, I hope this conversation has shed light on the innovation taking place in Virginia for businesses of all shapes and sizes. And to dig deeper into the possibilities for your next relocation or expansion, visit the Virginia Economic Development Partnership website at vedp.org. Thank you.